Now, the ban on styrofoam and other single-use plastics across Lagos by the state government has been criticized by residents, with many calling the move a hasty, impulsive decision devoid of critical policy making. Now, joining me to discuss the environmental implication of proper waste disposal, I am now being joined by environmentalist Majekodunmi. Thank you for joining me. Now, what specific environmental impact are associated with the use and distribution of styrofoam and other single-use plastics that prompted Lagos State government to implement this ban?
Well, the reality is that this plastic, it is not healthy to have in your environment at all, apart from the obvious fact that it blocks the drainages, that causes flooding, which can cause all kinds of catastrophic consequences for the people in a place like Lagos, which is prone to flooding anyway. It's a very low-lying place with streams and rivers everywhere. But apart from that, this plastic, it is not biodegradable. It doesn't break down. When it goes into nature, it goes into the ground, it goes into the water, it releases toxic chemicals. It is a chemical substance. And those chemicals, they are poisonous, they are deadly. They will give children who are the most vulnerable, it can give them cancer. And it causes all types of other problems in the metabolic system of the human being. And particularly the styrofoam. The styrofoam, it doesn't break down at all, and it's very, very difficult to recycle. At least other plastics, a lot of other plastics, if they're used responsibly, you can recycle it and you can get some value back out of it, and you can keep it away from the environment. Remember this, we call it environment, but it is really our life support system. If you have a healthy environment, then you can have a healthy life. If your environment is unhealthy, you cannot guarantee any good health in your life or the life of the children. So very, very necessary to get rid of this rubbish once and for all.
All right, in your opinion, how effective do you think this ban will be in reducing the environmental footprint of single-use plastic, especially considering the scale of usage in a populous state like Lagos?
Yes, it has to be done very pragmatically. We've seen the current Commissioner for Environment is all for it. He understands the implication of his position, of his job. He is protecting our life support system, okay? So I believe he will go all out, but it has to be done pragmatically, and it has to be accompanied with very, very intensive campaign. I don't believe that they're just going to go around to all the people who have these plastics tomorrow and just seize them. But I think this is the beginning of a process. I hope it is beginning of a process to persuade people that this thing can no longer be used. Other countries in the world have banned it a long time ago. Countries in Africa, Kenya, they've banned all this stuff because it is not healthy. It is bad. It kills people. It causes all kinds of problems. So I'm optimistic that they will get it right this time. That it's not just a matter of bravado. Because as I said, this particular commissioner has showed that he is up to the task, and he's been doing some very, very good active things in the environment in Lagos. So yes, I am optimistic, but we need to get the buy-in of the people. That's the key.
All right. So, lastly, before I let you go, why would the government establish laws regulating proper waste disposal? Why is that there is not a focus on ensuring stringent adherence to these regulations rather than implementing an outright ban on plastic waste?
Yes, well, if something is as dangerous as the styrofoam, it needs to be banned. You know, what's the justification for having it there, apart from the fact that it is very useful and it is very cheap to make, and so it's very profitable. And this is the reality that humanity has to come to terms with, not just in Lagos or Nigeria, Africa. Humanity has to come to terms with the reality that you can no longer put profit ahead of people, ahead of planet. People have to come first. There's no justification, no matter the amount of money that you're going to make, if you're doing something that is going to be responsible for people losing their lives, especially children, you cannot justify it. So it has to be done. And there are many alternatives. There are natural alternatives. Our forefathers, we were eating in gourds, we were drinking from calabash, we were wrapping food in leaves. All these things were biodegradable. When you finish, you throw it into the bush, it goes into the bush as fertilizer. So we should take a lesson from them.
Environmentalist Desmond Majekodunmi, thank you for speaking with us.